My name is David Trodjman. I'm running for mayor in the city of Cote St. Luc. So what are your goals for the next 4 years? My goals over the next 4 years is A, to increase security and to improve security in the city of Cote St. Luc. Second is our roads, our sidewalks, our lead pipe issues that we have in the city of Cote St. Luc, our sewer system that desperately needs to be repaired. And we need to invest properly in that infrastructure. And third, and certainly not the least, is our master plan. We need to push this forward, not for political gain or holding it back for political gain, but really moving forward. And those three things are critical for the city of Cote St. Luc. Now, we have security issues that we have to address. I have a plan and with actionable items to make that move forward. We have our road, our sewer, our lead pipe issues that need to be addressed, not in a 15-year plan, but immediately. We need to work on things in a proactive manner to solve these issues. And as an engineer, I know how to do this. And last, how are we going to pay for all this is through our master plan. Our master plan is going to revitalize areas of Cote St. Luc, and it's going to bring us additional tax revenues and funding that the city desperately needs. So, we have an increasing budget issues, budget debt. We have issues of being able to repair and renovate and maintain our infrastructure, and so I want to have an action plan on the ground immediately as soon as we start our mandate to move all of these things forward. What will you do to ensure that the Cavendish extension takes place? This is a question that's been plaguing Cote St. Luc for 30 years, and as a dear friend and longtime resident of Cote St. Luc, Saba Irving, has said he's been waiting for Mashiach and he might be stuck on the carry. This issue has been going on for so long, and the same players are around the table and no solution has actually been tangibly presented. So Montreal owes us this extension, the other egress out of Cote St. Luc. We have a serious security issue related to not being able to leave Cote St. Luc other than having two underpasses that have in the past gotten flooded. We need to make sure that Montreal, that their feet are held to the fire, that they fulfill their obligation. There was a transfer of land for $1, and one of the issues that they had to address was another exit out of Cote St. Luc. And I understand the issue. I was the engineer for the city. I've been at these commissions. I know what needs to change, and we need a different perspective. And if need be, we're gonna work with the city of Montreal, with the mayor of Montreal. We're gonna work with the Aglo. I, as the mayor, will be present at the Aglo. I won't delegate this to a city councillor to go, but the mayor, your mayor, needs to be at the Aglo, and that's what I commit to doing. And there, I'm going to push Montreal to fulfill their obligation. And honestly, if need be, we're going to take legal action to make sure they fulfill their legal obligation to give us this other egress out of Cote St. Luc. But I have to say that this exit out of Cote St. Luc needs to be done in a way that protects Cote St. Luc, that doesn't increase traffic, that doesn't bring in elements into the city that will cause issues. So we need to make sure that it serves the residents of Cote St. Luc and is done in the proper way. What will you do to protect local institutions from anti-Israel and anti-Semitic protesters? Security is top of mind. My kids are in university. My kids are exposed to the issues that we're seeing on our campuses. What's clear is that we shouldn't have waited 2 years to write a security brief. We need to have forward-thinking leadership at the city. Now, writing letters sometimes is necessary, but it's not enough. We need actionable items. Now, I know we need cameras in the city of Cote St. Luc. We need cameras at the entrances and exits of Cote St. Luc, which serves as a deterrent, but also helps in identifying issues that we potentially have. We need to also increase the tools that our public security officers have. We need to push the AGLO, the City of Montreal, to have the SPVM be more present in Côte Saint-Luc to make sure that our current laws are observed and enforced. It's not enough to say we have these laws. We have laws, but they need to be enforced, and the SPVM needs to enforce them. And as the mayor of Côte Saint-Luc, I will be present at the AGLO. I will make sure that the mayor of Montreal hears it, because it's the mayor of Montreal that dictates what the SPVM does and doesn't do. So I want to make sure they hear us and that they know that we're going to be standing there, and we're going to make sure that they apply the laws that we have. Now, I have to say, Côte Saint-Luc passed a resolution protecting a perimeter around our institutions. I think that's a great thing. I think we need to do a lot more, so we need to keep pushing. And we have tremendous resources of professionals in the city that are pushing on legal actions towards the City of Montreal for not acting. We have professionals in the security field. We have tremendous resources in Côte Saint-Luc. So I want to create a security group within Côte Saint-Luc that will gather the private and public sector, Côte Saint-Luc residents, the SPVM, our public security officers and leadership, and our community organizations that do a fantastic job for the community. I want to gather all of them and work to find the best solutions to make sure our laws are enforced, to make sure that our citizens feel safe consistently. So this is an important election. Now, people have a choice. There's two candidates. Why me? And it's a great question. Why you over the other candidate? So, I'm an engineer. I've worked internationally. I worked for the UN. I worked for the First Nations of Northern Quebec. I've worked for the City of Côte Saint-Luc. I was the Director of Public Works, Engineering and Urban Planning for the City of Côte Saint-Luc. I was also a councillor for the City of Côte Saint-Luc. I am a person that is action-based. I also know where things are broken at the city, and I know what needs to change. But more importantly, this is the time where the City of Côte Saint-Luc needs somebody with the roster of experience that I have. We have a master plan that needs to move forward. And it's been held back simply for political gain. And the mayor admitted it, that in June he was holding it back because there was an election in November. And I think that's wrong. I think we need to move things forward. Our infrastructure is clearly lacking. We are underinvesting. We're not using the right technologies. We're not using the right tools that we should have in the city. So I want to push forward on those things. And I also know that security is an issue. I don't think we should have waited 2 years to have a security brief. I don't think we should have waited 2 years to talk about having cameras. These are things that are actionable that we should have done immediately. We need forward-thinking leadership. And that's who I am. I look forward. I don't wait for a problem to happen and react to it. So as an engineer, as a person who loves Côte Saint-Luc, as somebody who really wants things to happen, I appreciate the service that he's given over the last 30 years, but it's time for a change. It's time for a new leadership in Côte Saint-Luc. Thank you.